Yes, hello, Sarah. Great to have you here. My channel is about minimalism and simplifying life. And I think you know something that would help a lot of people. What is your secret?
I think the secret is to not be ashamed about your sleep being bad and just to do whatever it takes to get good sleep, even if it means sleeping during the day.
It's easily said to get good sleep. What is the secret to good sleep?
Well, there's many different ways that you can do it, right? So there's nighttime sleep and then there's daytime sleep. And just shifting, nighttime sleep has a lot of different potential um, sleep hygiene methods, right? So because and you can go into many websites to find all that kind of stuff. But I think what's interesting and what is not often talked about is the fact that when you're not sleeping well at night, one solution that instead of getting so worked up emotionally and psychologically about, oh, I'm not sleeping well and I'm going to have a terrible day tomorrow and what's wrong with me, and getting all psychologically wrapped up in that, you could just say, that's okay. If I don't sleep tonight, I'll just take a nap in the middle of the day the following day. And so you'll be fine in the morning, and then you'll take a nap when you need to, and then you'll be fine for the rest of the day. And I think that as a solution to, in that way of kind of simplifying things, is not being so stressed out by having bad sleep at night, and realizing there's a solution that's very simple: just take a nap.
You've actually written a book about it. I will show the cover and I will also copy the link downstairs. Why is it so important? It's called take a nap. I mean, why? Why should one take a nap during the day? And you said a lot of people are probably ashamed to do so, but tell them why not.
So, napping, I think for the most part, people think that there's this sort of false idea that you should get all of your sleep in the nighttime, right? That you should be getting 7 hours of sleep at night and it should be fully consolidated. You shouldn't be waking up at all. And that is just an unrealistic expectation. Historically, people have slept in two different bouts: first sleep and second sleep, and then they wake up in the middle of the night and they do things. That is often, when you look, there's a great book called Night, and this has been well described, that people haven't had one consolidated period of sleep at night. They've slept in increments. And now when people sleep like that and they have natural changes to their sleep where they start waking up in the middle of the night, they feel really bad about it because they think that there's something wrong with them, and they start to pathologize this, when this could just be, we could be polyphasic sleepers. We could be somebody who, an animal like every other animal that sleeps in smaller intervals. And that could be okay. But I think that we start to feel like, oh no, if I don't get this type of sleep at night, I'm going to have a really bad day. But part of actually accepting that is also the idea of accepting solutions to not having a full consolidated night of sleep, which could be napping.
So one thing you're saying is that we should let go of our expectations, which is a very minimalistic approach, because a lot of our unhappiness, a lot of our stress is self-created by how we think it should be. And you're saying it doesn't even have to be like that. And even in previous times, it was not like that. Sleeping like 8 hours, that's a wrong perception of sleep. And you say a very simple solution is to take a nap. What are your recommendations? How should this nap be? How long should it be? At what time of the day should this nap be?
So I wish I had a simple answer for you, but it's actually quite interesting. Depending on what time of day you sleep, your nap will be different. Depending on how long you sleep and what time of day, your nap will be different. So it really depends on what you want to get out of your nap. There's a certain type of nap which is always called the power nap, or like these kind of 20-minute naps. You can take that any time of the day and it will always have the same effect, because it's a very specific form of sleep that you get called stage 2 sleep. And you'll have the benefits of alertness and kind of a reset of the system, and a little bit more focus. And it's like having a little shot of espresso.
Without the negative.
Without the negative of having you be sleep deprived for that night. Exactly. So that's what's great about these 20-minute naps. They don't rob you of nighttime sleep. If you have a longer nap, those longer naps will have more deeper sleep, something we call slow wave sleep. And that slow wave sleep is very, very restorative. This is where all of, the second book, The Power of the Downstate, all of this stuff is the downstate, the rest, deep, deep restorative rest that happens in slow wave sleep. Now, it's very good to have that form of sleep, but if you have too much of it during the day, that is going to affect your nighttime sleep. So sometimes people can be very sensitive to having, if they have a long nap, they may have a hard time sleeping at night. So that's one reason to not have that type of nap. But there's benefits to that nap as well, because that's the nap that is the most restorative for your body, your brain, your memory, your thinking, your prior sleep loss will be restored from that sleep. And so that's up to 60 minutes. If you can nap up to 60 minutes, then you get out of that deep form of sleep, and then you can wake up in a very alert state, and it's actually great. I used to always have hour-long naps when I was in graduate school. Now I've moved to the 20-minute nap. But if you really have time and you want to get the full benefits of sleep to the point where it's basically like a mini night, you have a 90-minute nap, because that allows you to have rapid eye movement sleep, or REM sleep, which is very good for creativity, for your emotional processing, for your perceptual systems. So when you have a 90-minute nap, usually that's the sort of the full spectrum of all the benefits. But then again, you have to be the kind of person who can have a 90-minute nap and not have it ruin your nighttime sleep. So a lot of this is self-experimentation as well, to figure out what works for you, what are you most interested in, what is a good time of day, because we're also creatures of habit. So having a nap at a similar time of day will set yourself up to sort of be able to then easily fall asleep at that time as well.
But you're saying if we could include that in our daily routine, we would hugely benefit from it, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So we've shown, we've compared the amount of memory improvement that you get over a full night of sleep compared to a nap, the amount of creativity increases that you get from a full night of sleep compared to a nap, and they're the same. That's what's so surprising about these midday naps, is that they really are mini nights. It's just that not everybody, number one, not everybody likes to nap, and number two, not everybody has the time. Or number three, not everybody is allowed to take a nap. So these are the issues that make napping a little more controversial than just focusing on nighttime sleep.
How do you include it into your own life?
My naps are really kind of they're caught in the middle of the day on the go. I've been napping for years, right? So you become sort of very good at napping if you really practice it. So I could just say, I have 20 minutes before my next meeting, I'm going to lay down on my couch, or I go to a meeting in my car. I have a car. I'm in California. Everybody drives. I go to my meeting, and I get there 20 minutes early. I put the seat back and I take like a 10-minute nap. So I use it as a strategy to fit into spaces when I need something. But I also work at home a lot because I'm an academic, and that's part of the perks, is I get to work at home. And that also allows me to, get exercise when I need it, sleep when I need it. I don't have that kind of 9-to-5 job, which makes it really easy for me.
We have 1 minute left. A very simple, but maybe not so simple question. I know a lot of people who have a hard time falling asleep. I mean, I can lay down, I fall asleep within 1 minute. If someone has a bit trouble, what is your recommendation? What is your advice to simplify the falling asleep process?
It's back to the expectation. A lot of the time, if you have the expectation of like, I'm not sleeping, I'm not falling asleep, your active mind is watching you. And that active mind is the reason why you're not falling asleep. So if you just focus on your breathing, there's very nice in my, I think it's definitely in the second book, The Power of the Downstate. I don't know if I don't remember if it's in my first book, but there are these progressive muscle relaxation exercises where you focus on your breathing, where you inhale and you tighten one body part, and then on the exhale, you release it. And you just progressively do this throughout your body. And we've shown that this increases sleep onset in naps, and it can increase deep sleep up to 20 minutes in a nap. there are relaxation techniques, but just focus on your breathing, just relax, and just know that even when you go into the early stages of sleep, it feels sometimes like you're still awake. So even if you're just relaxing, that's very beneficial.
Thank you very much. 10 minutes and 13 seconds. I think that's a record. Thanks that we could speak. If you have your own experiences, write down in the comment, how does napping help you? And I let you run and hope to talk to you again.
Nice
Bye-bye,
to meet
Sara.
you. Thank you. Bye.
So